To those of you out there right now struggling, thinking that because you were a drug addict, that you're going to be a drug addict forever, I have good news for you. You can change. But if nothing changes, nothing changes. Literally, you have to be the person in your life that takes charge of these kinds of things. You need to, like Jordan Peterson says, treat yourself like you're a person that you would be responsible for, because you are responsible for you. And the thing about it is that so many people wonder, like, if somebody who's a drug addict, are they always going to be a drug addict? Am I going to be able to help somebody if they're a drug addict? But the thing is, and here's the hardest part about it, the drug addiction is a disease of selfishness. It's a disease where we're focused so much on ourselves, or that person is focused so much on themselves and how they feel and how they can change that and whatever, that they often never grow out of that. And unfortunately, the statistics are low. But one of the hardest parts about helping a drug addict is that sometimes you're not helping them. The ways that you think that you're really helping them in their life might actually be hurting them, because you have to set boundaries. That's the hardest part about loving somebody who's currently addicted, is that every minute you spend not setting a boundary is a minute that you spend hurting yourself and them. Every minute that you enable them, you might be that much closer to their death. When you give them that house that they can stay in because you don't want them to be on the streets. I know this is going to sound harsh, guys. I've lived through this from the addict's perspective. When you give them that little bit of money because they manipulate you into it. What if that 20 bucks you gave them is the last 20 bucks they ever spend and they die? Would that be something you could live with yourself with? This is going to be the hardest part of any of this. Loving or being a drug addict is having these boundaries set, but they are absolutely the game changer. The thing that changed in my life was when I moved out of state. When I got to a place where I didn't have anybody I could lean on anymore. I couldn't call my mom and say, hey, can I come stay with you? Hey, can you give me 20 bucks? And I reached a level of pride that I wasn't willing to ask for it anymore. I was literally at the point where I was like, if I can't do it, I don't need it. And that level of personal responsibility changed my life. But the thing is that most people have to hit a level of pain that's so great that they will want to change. I've never been to a rehab. I just stopped because I got so sick and tired of seeing my results. I got so sick and tired of being a man that when I looked at in the mirror, I was like, you were a fucking pathetic little bitch. But as I became more and more responsible for myself, I started to see the forest for the trees more and more. And as I started to stand up for myself and not let my own self be manipulated by other people, the idea of manipulating other people became just as disgusting to me. So when you do have a drug addict in your life, and it's like somebody that you love so much and you just wish that they would come out of it, the best thing you can do is tell them the truth and then set boundaries. And I've had to do this with some people that are very, very close to me. Sometimes we don't talk anymore. My family, unfortunately, because there are so many addicts in our family, don't talk a lot, because the ones of us that got out of it don't fuck with the ones that are still in it. And the hard part about that is that you can put somebody in rehab 20 times. Until they want it, they won't change. And the best thing you can do is love them from a distance. Because every time you let yourself be taken advantage of, you put a little coin in that emotional bank that will eventually become a resentment. And that resentment is going to eat you away. It's going to fester inside you, and you are going to just die internally because of it. And you don't want the last thoughts, if that person does die, for them to be negative and hateful and angry at that person. That's why when my fiance relapsed and kicked me out of my house and got back with their ex, as hard as it was for me, I just distanced myself and started working forwards on my new life. I was clean and I stayed clean through that. She unfortunately lost her life. She overdosed. But I'm proud to say that during that process, as angry and hurt as I was, I stopped enabling her. I stopped participating in it. And I spent more time praying for her and trying to say as much good things as I could and speak as much life into the relationship that I had had with her than I spent saying negative things. And that's what it comes down to. You just need to love those people as best you can from a distance. Love you guys. Have a good day.